We have a genuine friendship, and so what happens is we get on stage, and really, people just want to be a part of our friendship, and I don't blame them because it's fantastic.
Yeah. We learned, Bob, about when we started doing in 1997, when we started going out as, we needed a name, right? You need a name so people, but really back in the day when people were doing conferences, it was three things. It was speaker, band, music, and some entertainment. And so it really was, is we kept picturing around a table, they're going, hey, who are we going to get to speak? Oh, we can get so-and-so to speak. What band are we going to get? Oh, we can get so-and-so. Okay, now what about skits? Because skits in the 90s and early 2000s, there was a lot of people out there, so it was like, we need some Skit Guys. Oh, well, isn't there a group called the Skit Guys?
The Skit Guys.
Yeah. So we just landed it that way.
Okay, so you said the 90s and the early 2000s skits were a thing. Mm-hmm. So are skits, I mean, obviously you guys are continuing to do skits.
Sure.
Are you making skits?
Oh, yeah.
A thing. So it's just less people are doing it.
Yeah. We continue to do live shows. We probably do about 50 live shows a year, and then on top of that, the short films we make for churches and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, and also there is the Skit Guys multimedia thrust here. You've got a book, and I'm going to read it here off the screen. It's called Smells Like Bacon, the Skit Guys Guide to Lifelong Friendships.
Mm-hmm.
So, the cliche comes to mind. Everything goes better with bacon.
It sure does.
That's what I mean.
Sure
that's a great motto for life.
It sure is, Bob.
So what's the bacon connection here?
There was a time when Eddie moved in and was living with my wife and I, and he was on the Atkins diet, and this guy would eat bacon for every meal.
You just can't do that, but I did it.
He did it.
Yeah.
And
why not?
The parsonage that we lived in smelled like bacon constantly.
And your wife, I think, one day came in and she really looked at you with just pleading eyes, just trying to understand all the questions. Why does our house smell like bacon?
Yeah.
And with
friendship.
With a 30-year friendship, with our wives included in this, that's what we've been able to do is to, even though it's a funny name, it smells like bacon, there's serious bacon bits in there as far as what we've learned along the way, as far as these are essential nuggets of friendship, essential bits that if you
bacon bits,
bacon bits,
that's
it's there.
it. Bacon bits.
If you looked at any of these bits, these little bacon bits of friendship, I guarantee you they could change a relationship for you.
Yeah.
So 30-year friendship.
Yep.
And this is a book that actually is centered around these friendships. You actually, as I understand it, you have different elements of what has contributed to your friendship over the years. Tommy, tell me just a bit about about some of these how-tos here.
Well, what I love it, we actually just recorded the audio version last week, so it's fresh on my mind. But as we went through it, I realized, this friendship that we have, there are 30 years of going, oh, okay, you know what? There's things like this, onus on me. Like it's taking responsibility for things in friendship, being able to apologize and say, I'm sorry. We have a chapter in there about going through the tunnel of chaos, that if you're going to have a real friendship, you're really going to have to go through some times where it's chaotic and you're dealing with issues, but it's okay because the tunnel of chaos leads to the tunnel of love. It'll be okay, but you got to go through it. And there's way too many people who have surface level friends because they won't do the hard work that goes with it.
Amen.
I didn't know if you had anything to add. That was just two ideas that are in there.
Amen. I think it's interesting, Bob, that nobody really an apology is hard today.
Sure.
So when he says onus on me, people don't like to take onus. Even believers, we talk about forgiveness and what that looks like, but it's very hard for someone to go, I did that, and I apologize for this.
Well, Eddie, it's easier to point the finger at somebody else and say, no, it's your fault.
Exactly.
And nothing is my fault.
Right.
It's all your fault.
Yep.
And so you get in this guilt and shame thing, and it's really, I guess it's a default position that we don't want to take responsibility,
and
at least these days.
Yeah.
Yes, and just as we are standing in front of two microphones, we've really constructed a world that stands in front of a microphone, and we could put anything out there on social media, and it really even contributes to, this is your fault, you did this, instead of really taking onus on things. We've kind of built this culture that nothing's really our fault, we're just observers. But if we want to have deep relationships, there is an onus, and that's the forgiveness, and that's where the healing and the deepness really comes in a friendship.
Yeah.